are the presenter from Technical Institute Tunku Abdul Rahman Putra, which is allocated at Penang, Malaysia. For today, I would like to introduce our innovation project, which is Inexpensive Join, I Join. A little bit on the abstract before we starting our presentation. So the main idea of this proposal is to reduce the waste, a full attention on the recycled waste that has been disposed, and we would like to turn the waste into a new product, which is called Inexpensive Join, I Join. Before we go through on the problem statement, let me start by giving you some explanation on the introduction and the project background on how the title is proposed. For the introduction, the workshop practice is a work involving the use of hand tools and machine in the process of manufacturing works. So in this report, it's emphasized on the joining and the cutting works. So joining involves binding, riveting, welding, and soldering. However, cutting method involve the distribution and fermentation with hand tools and machine. The purpose of iJoin is to ease the user to install the extension that is low cost and user friendly. Other than that, it has a strong structure and easily installed and to be maintained. Our attention now to the problem statement. So rapid growth in the metal industry has taken the country toward an industrialized nation. So these tools and machines are needed in works that involving joining. Joining tool is very important in the workshop because it's used frequently. So these tools are used to make the joining depending on the size and the shape required. So the several method to join metal, for example, that is commonly used are binding, riveting, and gas welding and arc welding. So these skills require high skill and cost that are not suitable in the meantime, that require work, economy, and time efficiency. As we have been aware, due to the difficulty during the joining process, a special tool is needed to solve this problem. So safety, time, work efficiency, quality of work, cost and control, they are factors that should have been in the tool design. So these new tools will be accepted by the user in no time if it's time saving, easy and safe to use, especially on how to fix or repair the table for the examination. Other methods require high skill and cost. This is a type of the binding or joining that have been in our market. Of our iJoin, we come up with a case study, which is this is a tabletop that's come out from the frame. Shall we continue on the objective of this innovation project? So in order to overcome some of the problem in the work of joining metal, designers have come up with an option that is a joining tools are needed in the joining based works. So this function of tools is join metal with ease and precision without ignoring the safety factor and save a lot of time. Before we move on the next slide, let me elaborate a little bit on the join. The join is a process that combines two components or more. Joining material or component can be done by using the method of binding, soldering, riveting, and welding. So joining that involves metal and non-metal can be done using binding and riveting methods. So some products that are used, joining methods are shown in the photo. These are the list of joints that have been available in the market distribution. We have arrived on the finding and discussion. So for the initial idea, a very simple light and inexpensive joint for the framework of joining may be made from the sheet brass of aluminum tin can. on the conclusion and the recommendation, in and spacing joint, I-joint can be used anywhere with low cost estimation in the comparison with existing method. So with enough equipment, it can be one of the absolute and easy tools to be used. Users are better equipped and they do not require a lot of time to make the joint. So this is nothing to prevent this project from being widely used. Hopefully, in the future, we hope this project will be applied to the local community. Next, I would like to share on the method procedure on how I-joint is being made. So the first thing to do was to remove the bottom using a remover on the bottom of the can opener. So if the bottom can be removed using a can opener of metal cutter, all you have to do is then cut down the length of the can with the thin snipe and then remove the rim from the bottom end. This is a more elaborate photo for you to be shown on how to remove the rim on the bottom end. Then start the process by carefully pulling the side of each end from each other while gently pushing on the metal with your thumb. The second thing to do was transform the square or round tin can into a flat sheet or tin using the hammer to finish the job on the flattening the floater edges. This is the example on the flat sheet of tin cans should be. The next step is to measure and mark the sheet metal part that you want to cut. This is the shape of in and spacing joint by using the drawing structure. From the drawing, the sheet metal has been cut accordingly to the shape of the dimension. Then we got the end products of the I-joint. Bending the metal on the dotted line, it will take the shape about of the joint. So the bolt used for holding the end of the wire truss clamp the end of the metal together. Thus, it's making a solid joint. So this joint is especially adapted for the use of joining built for square material. So indirectly, the problem faced by the user can be resolved completely with the use of I-joint. This is an initial product, a prototype that has been completely used by using the I-joint. Focusing on the joining, this is the example of the installation on the examination desk. For future references, we hope that with the available of I-joint, it can hope to gain benefit in the best possible edition. So it can be used as a reference for anyone who wish to enhance the ability of this I-joint in the future. This is the full use of the I-joint. It actually can withstand, if a person sit on the tabletop, it can withstand on the 80 kg. On the normal plywood, it can withstand about 5 kg. This is the end of our case study, a fully use of I join, the before and the after. Thank you for today's presentation. Thank you so much for your attention. I hope this will give the idea on the innovation projects. I'm so grateful to be the presenter for today.